Welcome to the second module of this self-guided learning course on gamification for humanitarian learning. In the first module, we wanted to make sure you get familiar with basic terms and definition. Here, we want you to start thinking about practical details, such as, for example, actions that can be supported in a serious game, what type of game elements can be more suitable, and how can we structure these elements and actions in a learning journey, to think about the game as a holistic system. So you will see that the modules provide you with 3 pages with different resources. In particular, the first page in the first section of this module is about the serious game learning framework. Here, it's how we wanted to guide the design of serious games in the face-to-face workshop we carried out throughout the last 2 years of the project. We want to make sure that you are creating a game that is engaging, that it's action-oriented, and allow applications of skills in context. Building a serious game, we realized, does not have to look as creating an online course or having players replying to quizzes and receiving immediate feedback. Serious games need actions to be effective, to be meaningful, but to be fun as well. Therefore, action could be of different types, for example, accessing content in various formats, but also creating new content, connecting with other players through means of collaboration or competitions, and receiving immediate feedback or providing feedback to other players. So there are different types of actions. Feel free to explore those actions and the example we provided to you in the relevant section. On the other hand, once you are clear about the type of actions that could be supported, it's also important to think about the game elements. First of all, let's have a look at the list of game elements we described in the downloadable template in Word. We use this template a lot in the face-to-face workshop to make sure participants could reflect on the different elements that are available out there. It's not only talking about badges and points, but you can think about avatars, you can think about storytelling, narrative, levels, and so on. You can go through the list and imagine a popular game and imagine one of these elements in context. Which type of game did you play? Why that game element was important? What was your experience as a player? So try to think about your personal experience. That is very useful to start familiarizing even further with the concept of creating a game. Try to think about yourself as a player, first of all, and not as a designer of a game. And finally, the last piece of the module is the so-called learning journey. You may have heard before the terms user experience or user journey. These two terms are pretty similar. Here we want you to reflect on the user journey of a game, therefore the storytelling, the narrative. How are games structured usually? Can you imagine a popular game and structure this game along the 4 phases that are described in the relevant section? Can you try to recognize, for example, the engagement phase, the orientation phase, the maturity or the continuation phase of that particular game? Reflect on it. It's not super easy, it's not straightforward, but it's not complicated. You don't have to be an expert, but you will certainly recognize that these type of phases are allowing you to build a narrative, to create a game that is not overwhelming from the player from scratch, and it's somehow progressing throughout a sequence, and it's modular. So I hope you found this video introduction useful, meaningful, and I wish you a good reflection on the material of this second module.